I'm 29F and grew up in a family where Christmas wasn't just another holiday. It was treated like a tradition carved in stone, every detail repeated year after year like a script. The tree went up the day after Thanksgiving, the same decorations were brought down from the attic, the same music played in the background. We all knew the rhythms of the season, and we all knew one thing for certain. My Aunt Linda, my dad's older sister, would find a way to make the holiday about herself. Linda is 56 now, but she's been the same since I was a kid. She branded herself as the generous one of the family. She wanted everyone to see her as the person who gave the best gifts, the most thoughtful surprises, the one who kept Christmas alive. On the surface, it might sound like a nice role to play, but the way she did it turned the holidays into a performance. Every year she would brag about how much she had spent. It wasn't just about giving, it was about making sure everyone knew the price tag. I remember one year at Christmas dinner when she leaned back in her chair, swirled her wine, and casually dropped into conversation. "That leather jacket I got you wasn't cheap, you know." She wasn't even talking to me that time. It was my cousin wearing the jacket, and the poor girl looked down at her plate, embarrassed, while everyone else just nodded politely. My mom rolled her eyes, but she didn't say anything. Nobody ever did. Linda's temper was sharp, and challenging her in front of others was asking for an explosion. But behind the glossy show she put on, the gifts themselves rarely matched the image she tried to sell. As I got older, I started noticing the details. Perfume bottles that were already half empty, sweaters with clearance stickers still stuck to the tags, gift sets that were clearly rewrapped from someone else. The worst was the year she gave my cousin a toaster oven. When he unwrapped it, crumbs spilled out on the carpet. He laughed at first, thinking it was a joke, but Linda just smiled and told him he was lucky because that brand is expensive. If anyone ever dared to point out things like that, she had the same line ready. It's the thought that counts. And yet, when it came time for her to open gifts, if she didn't get something flashy or high value, she sulked like she'd been cheated. She once unwrapped a scarf from me, something I'd saved up for, soft cashmere in her favorite color, and she sighed and put it aside without a word. 10 minutes later, she was boasting about how much she'd spent on my brother's headphones. For years, the rest of us went along with it. We pretended her gifts were wonderful, we smiled and thanked her, and we let her hold court with her bragging. It was easier to play along than risk turning Christmas dinner into a shouting match. That was the pattern of every holiday, and I started to dread the predictability of it. When I finally moved out and got my own place, I decided I wanted something different. I started hosting Friendsgiving with my friends from college and work. We'd do a little gift exchange where everyone pulled a name, and the rules were simple, fair budget, thoughtful gifts, no one-upmanship. People actually cared about what they gave, and the atmosphere was fun. Nobody bragged, nobody sulked, and for the first time, the holidays felt light. So when my parents asked me last year if I'd host Christmas for the extended family, I surprised myself by agreeing. I wanted to bring some of that same energy into my own family. At the same time, I knew it was also a chance to finally level the playing field with Linda. She'd spent decades setting herself up as the queen of Christmas, but in her world, there were never any rules. She could overspend, underspend, re-gift, and no one said a word. This year, that was going to change. I decided we would do a Secret Santa. Everyone would draw a name, and each person had to buy a gift for that one person. I sent out the rules ahead of time so there'd be no confusion. The budget range was set, minimum $75, maximum $100. Every gift had to come with a receipt, taped to the box or slipped in an envelope.